The name Houthis appears frequently in international news, often making headlines across various media outlets. They are often linked to attacks, conflicts, and negotiations in a distant land called Yemen, a country that has been embroiled in turmoil for years. But who are the Houthis? What drives their actions and what are their goals? What do they represent and why should we care about them? These questions are crucial for understanding the broader context of the conflict. Their story is deeply intertwined with the ongoing war in Yemen, a conflict with devastating consequences for the region and the world, affecting millions of lives. Understanding the Houthis is crucial to understanding the complex geopolitical chessboard of the Middle East and its global repercussions, which extend far beyond Yemen's borders. This video aims to shed light on the Houthis, their role in the Yemeni conflict, and the broader implications for global security and economics, which are often overlooked. We will delve into their origins, ideology, and the intricate network of international actors involved in this multifaceted conflict, providing a comprehensive understanding. Furthermore, we will examine the humanitarian crisis, the impact on global shipping, and potential future scenarios, highlighting the far-reaching effects of this conflict. The Houthis, officially known as Ansar Allah, or Supporters of God, emerged in the 1990s as a religious and cultural movement in northern Yemen. Initially, their focus was on preserving their religious identity and cultural heritage. Their heartland is the Sada province, a mountainous region bordering Saudi Arabia. This area has historically been a stronghold for the Zaidi Shia community. The group draws its name from Hussein Badreddin al-Houthi, a prominent Zaidi Shia cleric who criticized the Yemeni government's policies and its alliance with the West, particularly the United States. His speeches and writings galvanized many Yemenis who felt disenfranchised. Zaidi Shia Islam, while a minority sect within Shia Islam, represents a significant portion of the Yemeni population. Their unique beliefs and practices have been a cornerstone of Yemeni culture for centuries. The Houthis, under Hussein's leadership, accused the government of marginalizing Zaidis and neglecting their region. They felt their voices were being ignored in the political landscape of Yemen. They also opposed what they perceived as the growing influence of Saudi Arabia and the West in Yemen, viewing them as threats to their faith and way of life. This opposition became a rallying cry for many. Initially advocating for social and religious revival within Zaidi communities, the movement gradually adopted a more assertive political stance. Over time, their goals expanded to include broader political and social reforms. The year 2011 marked a turning point in Yemen's history as a series of protests, inspired by the Arab Spring uprisings, swept across the country. These protests, largely fueled by widespread dissatisfaction with poverty, corruption, and authoritarian rule, targeted then-President Ali Abdullah Saleh, who had been in power for over 3 decades. The Houthis, capitalizing on the political vacuum and popular discontent, joined the uprising and expanded their influence beyond their northern strongholds. As the country descended into chaos, the Houthis, with their well-organized militia, marched south, capturing the capital, Sana'a, in 2014. This effectively ousted the internationally recognized government of President Abdrabbuh Mansur Hadi, who fled to Saudi Arabia. The Houthis' takeover ignited a civil war, pitting them against various factions vying for control of Yemen. The Yemeni conflict is not simply an internal struggle. It has become a proxy war, with regional powers supporting different sides of the conflict, each pursuing their own strategic interests. Saudi Arabia, perceiving the Houthis' rise as an expansion of Iranian influence in its backyard, intervened militarily in 2015. Leading a coalition of predominantly Sunni Arab states, Saudi Arabia launched airstrikes and imposed a naval blockade on Yemen, aiming to dislodge the Houthis and reinstate President Hadi's government. Iran, on the other hand, while denying direct military involvement, has been accused of providing financial and military support to the Houthis. The extent of this support remains a subject of debate, but Western intelligence reports suggest significant Iranian assistance in the form of weapons, training, and logistical expertise. Beyond Yemen's shores, the Red Sea crisis and global trade. The Yemeni conflict's repercussions extend far beyond its borders, particularly affecting maritime security in the Red Sea, a vital waterway for global trade. In recent years, the Houthis have targeted commercial vessels in the Red Sea, including oil tankers and cargo ships, raising concerns about the safety of international shipping routes. These attacks, often carried out with explosive-laden boats and sophisticated missiles, have been attributed to the Houthis' desire to pressure the Saudi-led coalition and draw international attention to their cause. The attacks have disrupted global supply chains, increased shipping costs, and driven up oil prices, impacting economies worldwide. A world-divided geopolitics of the Yemen conflict. The Yemen conflict has exposed the fault lines in the international system and highlighted the complexities of great power politics. The United States, while officially supporting the Saudi-led coalition, has grown increasingly wary of the conflict's humanitarian costs and the potential for escalation. Russia, on the other hand, has seized the opportunity to counter American influence in the region by providing diplomatic cover and allegedly military aid to the Houthis. This complex web of alliances and rivalries has hindered diplomatic efforts to resolve the conflict. The United Nations, despite facing numerous challenges, has played a crucial role in mediating peace talks and providing humanitarian assistance to millions of Yemenis in need. A forgotten crisis. Yemen's humanitarian catastrophe. Lost amidst the geopolitical maneuvering lies a devastating humanitarian crisis. The conflict has plunged Yemen, already the poorest country in the Arab world, into a humanitarian catastrophe of unimaginable proportions. Years of fighting, coupled with the Saudi-led blockade, have crippled Yemen's infrastructure, shattered its economy, and pushed millions to the brink of starvation. The United Nations estimates that over 24 million Yemenis, constituting 80% of the population, require some form of humanitarian assistance. Malnutrition rates are among the highest globally, with thousands of children dying from preventable diseases. The healthcare system has collapsed, and access to clean water and sanitation is severely limited. Despite the severity of the crisis, international media coverage and humanitarian aid have been woefully inadequate, leaving Yemen a forgotten war. Charting the future paths to peace or escalation. The future of the Yemen conflict remains uncertain. Finding a lasting solution requires addressing the root causes of the conflict, including political, economic, and sectarian grievances. A sustainable peace will necessitate a political settlement involving all parties to the conflict, including the Houthis, the internationally recognized government, and regional powers. However, achieving a negotiated settlement is a daunting task. The conflict has become increasingly intractable, with deep-seated mistrust and animosity between the warring factions. Furthermore, the involvement of external actors with competing interests adds another layer of complexity. The international community must prioritize diplomatic efforts, exert pressure on all sides to cease hostilities, and hold perpetrators of human rights abuses accountable. The ripple effect: why Yemen matters to the world. The conflict in Yemen, while geographically distant, has profound implications for global security and stability. The ongoing violence and humanitarian crisis have far-reaching effects that extend well beyond the region. The instability in Yemen provides fertile ground for terrorist organizations such as Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula to operate and potentially launch attacks beyond Yemen's borders. This poses a significant threat to international security. Moreover, the disruption of shipping routes in the Red Sea directly impacts global trade, affecting energy prices, supply chains, and economic growth worldwide. The strategic location of Yemen makes it a critical point for maritime traffic. The conflict also underscores the dangers of proxy wars, where regional rivalries escalate into complex conflicts with devastating humanitarian consequences. These proxy wars often draw in multiple nations, complicating peace efforts. The international community must recognize that neglecting the crisis in Yemen is not an option. The stakes are too high, and the potential for further destabilization is immense. Only through sustained diplomatic engagement, humanitarian assistance, and a commitment to a peaceful resolution can we prevent further suffering and instability in this war-torn nation. The world must come together to support Yemen in its time of need. GAP 2S